And the third video in this series to check your comprehension of real people from the UK is with Pat, Patricia, Pat, whatever you want to call her, who is a midday assistant.
My name's Pat Jones, I'm 66, I come from Manchester in the northwest of England. My job is a midday assistant. I work at a school not far from where I live. I work at lunchtimes. Although I don't serve out the dinners to the children, I do have to look after them at lunchtime while they're eating the dinner, watch if they've got any spillages, that sort of thing, then watch them after they go out and they play, maybe join in the activities with them. Right, my hours of work are actually 12 o'clock until 1:15. From 12 o'clock until 12:15 is actually a time that we meet in the staff room if there's any issues regarding anything from the day before, their children who was maybe hurt or anything like that, for discussions, anything that's happening that day. Their playtime, lunchtime playtime, is from 12:15 until 1 o'clock. From 1 o'clock until 1:15, we can maybe hear the children read until they have to go back into class. Although I don't work in the kitchen, I do obviously see what the children are eating. There's a varied menu. Some children have got special needs because it's a mixed race school, so some children can only have, say, halal food. Some children are vegetarians. Some children don't actually have a school dinner, they just bring a packed lunch from home, and basically it's a different dinner every day, but there is a choice of menu. If they bring a packed lunch from home, they still eat in the canteen, although there is what they call a chill zone, which is outside, and a lot of the children like to sit there with their packed lunch and eat it there. The chill zone is basically an outside area in the school grounds, where there's little benches, there's a couple of tables, so the children can sit out and eat their dinner, eat their packed lunch outside. However, they couldn't eat the school dinner out of the canteen there. They have to eat that in the dining room. Even though I'm not a student, the food does look quite nice, and there are some days that I quite like what I see, because it's always meat and veg or nice desserts. The good things about my job are it's rewarding because you're looking after the children, especially if you can help them. Say if they fall and they come to you and maybe it's only a plaster or something, but to see that they're happy afterwards is quite rewarding, even if it is only a small thing like that. The bad things, of course, are they are children. They can play up, they can be cheeky, and there's always one element of children that are always cheeky. The rest of my day, I do, in fact, have another job. In the morning, I clean at the town hall, which is very near to where I live. I do that for 2 hours, basically office cleaning the desks, etc. before the full-time staff come in. Then I go home, have my breakfast because I've not eaten before I go out. Then it's time to go to the school. Then I come home from there, maybe do some shopping, or just go home, do housework, get the evening meal ready. Basically, to go to work, the morning job, the cleaning job in the morning, I do tend to walk. I can walk there, it takes me about 15 minutes to walk and walk home. However, if my husband is at home, he would probably give me a lift there. Same at lunchtime when I'm going to the school. If my husband's at home, he would give me a lift and a lift back home. If he's not available, I have to get the bus. In fact, 2 buses to get to the school. I used to work full-time at an insurance company in Manchester, in the centre of Manchester. I worked there for 34 years. It started around 8 o'clock, finished around 4 o'clock, although it was flexitime, so which meant I could go in in the morning from say 8 o'clock till 9:30 and finish between 4 o'clock and 5:30. I did enjoy the job for a number of years, but after 30 years it gets to be I would like a bit more time to myself, so that is why I gave that up to the two small jobs that I've got at the moment enables me to have more time to myself. Other than London, the places I would suggest that are very good to visit are the Cotswolds, which is the Midlands around Birmingham, but there's some very nice villages. It's what's known collectively as the Cotswolds. Lovely villages and countryside. Also Cornwall, which is probably about 70 miles plus from London. Again, lovely villages, generally nicer weather than we would have in Manchester. For a typical day out in the northwest, I would suggest somewhere like maybe Blackpool for families, if you've got children. It's basically aimed at children because there's a lot of amusement parks, sand, sea, fish and chips, that sort of thing. Maybe for couples, the Lake District or York, because there's places of interest. If you like walking, the Lake District is very good because there's a lot of countryside. York, a lot of cathedrals, that sort of thing. I've had such a busy weekend, late nights all week this week. So tonight I think it might be an early night to get ready for next week when I've got to go to work, and Monday night I go dancing, Thursday night I'll be going dancing, as I will Friday night and Saturday.
Now let's take a look at the vocab used in the interview with Pat. Patricia, Pat. Okay, Pat said that she is a midday assistant, but what is that? A midday assistant is the person who helps the children during their break time to make sure they stay safe and everything is okay. Nothing goes wrong, no children run away from school, no children kill each other, things like this. A midday assistant is the person who stays with them, joins in with them when they're playing games to make sure everything is fine and hunky-dory. They do quite a lot then, really. They make sure everything is hunky-dory. Pat talks about spillages. A spillages is what happens when you spill something. So I spill my Coke onto the floor, so there on the floor there is now a spillage. There has been a spillage. Everybody stop. Because if you move you might slip in the spillage and break your neck. And we don't want that. Playtime. What is playtime? Playtime, generally at school, is the break time when you can play. You don't really have playtime in an office. Maybe in Google. I can imagine them having playtime with their adult staff. So the children go outside on their break and play. It's time to play. Pat also says there is a varied menu. This basically means on the menu, in the canteen at lunchtime at school, there are many different choices. There is a great variety of choices of food to eat. She also talks about special needs. In this case, children with special needs are children who need extra care and attention, probably because of an illness or a specific condition they have that gives them difficulties, that causes them difficulties. Mixed race. If you are mixed race, it means your parents are of two different races. Mixed race. I don't know if that's politically correct anymore. I can't keep up with all this political correctness in England. There's too many. A waiter is a server. A packed lunch. Did you have a packed lunch at school or did you eat in the canteen? A packed lunch is basically your dinner, your lunch in a box. Food in a box. I think I used to have packed lunches at some point. With squashy sandwiches all humid because they've been in there for 3 hours from 9 o'clock in the morning. Delicious! The canteen, which I've said a couple of times now, is a place where you go to get food. Normally in a school, in an office, things like this. It's the place you go, you can take food, you pay for it for a very low price normally, or even for free. If it's a school, you pay in advance, you pay your school dinner money, and then you go to the canteen, you take the food that you want, you sit down at a table on a bench, which is the long thing that you sit on, normally made from wood but I guess in the canteen it's normally made from plastic, just because it's a lot lighter. Can't imagine the dinner ladies lumping heavy wooden benches around the canteen, and you have your dinner. If you have a packed lunch, you can also eat it in the canteen. You don't have to eat the food that is served in the canteen. The chill zone. I want a chill zone in my offices. The chill zone is a zone, an area, where you go, sit down and, you guessed it, chill and relax. You kick back and relax. At one point, Pat says, in the school grounds. The school grounds is the land surrounding the school, also where the school is. It's not just the land around and not the school. The school grounds is the area of the school and the lound. School grounds is the school and the land surrounding the school which belongs to the school. School grounds. Meat and veg. Meat and veg means meat and vegetables. Meat and two veg means something else, but I'll let you look that one up. A plaster. Pat says a plaster because she's British. In America they say a band-aid. So a plaster is something made from plastic or cloth which is sticky that people put on top of a cut to cover it, to protect it so that it can heal. A plaster. Sometimes with nice little pretty pictures on it. To play up means to misbehave. The kids are playing up again. Also your car can play up. You're driving your car and it goes like and stops. That sounds more like a tractor or a helicopter, but imagine it's a car. You can say my car is playing up. Can we use yours? To be cheeky. Many people say I'm cheeky. And for me it's a compliment. But cheeky means to be a little bit rude, but in a funny way. Stop being cheeky. No. The town hall is the building, normally a big building, you find in the centre of the town where you'll find government staff and employees pretending to work and not answering the phone. But they work a lot. They have a lot of meetings all day. It's where the people have the meetings to decide to change all the system to a one-way system in the centre of the town so everybody goes crazy and causes lots of accidents. I reversed over a policeman in the centre of Belfast because they changed the street to a one-way street. It's true. I didn't get a fine. He apologised. Now Pat says she tends to walk. So she says I tend to walk, not she tends, because she's not talking about somebody else, she's talking about herself. I tend to walk means I'm likely to walk. For me, it's more probable to walk. I generally walk. I tend to walk to work. I generally walk to work. Flexitime. Flexitime is when you are allowed to choose the hours that you work. So you say, I work flexitime. I have to work 20 hours a week. That's not a lot. I have to work 20 hours a week, but I can decide when. Flexitime. From say, in this case, say means approximately. From say 2 o'clock. A number of years means many years, several years. Nice and easy. It's aimed at children. This means it's created really for children. We want this product or this activity to be mainly for children. We want children to enjoy it. It's aimed at children. My schools are organising a trip to a vineyard, which is aimed at alcoholics. No, it's not. But it's not aimed at children. It's aimed at adults. Now tonight I'm going to have an early night, like Pat, but not together. We're in two different countries. An early night means I'm going to go to bed early. So now go back and watch the video again with Pat and see if you understand better. Remember, not only do you need to press the subscribe button, you also need to press the bell. If you don't press the bell, you don't get the notifications.